Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it is Saturday. It is BOLO Day. We tell you what sold over the past week. Some real highlights of things that sold. A bit of a deep dive into what they are, why they are, how they sold, how you can find them out there, and more. And Mr. Magazine, you can tell people.
Well, someone amped it up here a little bit. Anyways, here we go. Free is good, right?
Free is very good.
As far as I know, someone's been smuggling Economist magazines into my shop and hiding them all over the place like it's Easter.
What a fool.
Right, for sure. So anyways, we got an Economist. I got nothing into it other than the listings and so forth. It is The World is Shut Down, subtitled March 2020, and I got $14.43 for it.
What idiot would do that?
That's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
That certainly is.
I wish we could zoom in on the name and see what kind of fool that was.
What an idiot that was. One thing over here, now you could actually say why the world was shut down, whereas for a while there, eBay was not allowing you to use the word COVID because I attempted to list a Bloomberg Business Week magazine that mentioned it, and it flagged it, but now you're allowed to use that terrible word.
There you go. Well,
So
is that even a thing now, COVID?
Not much anymore. No,
Sure.
but again, it's historically important.
Well,
So
of course, yeah. As far as you know.
It just shut the world down for 2 years. I think it is. Yes.
Next up, this may look like junk to most people. You could probably find this at garage sales,
Garbage sales.
or in a dumpster, or in the garbage. I don't think I paid a lot, maybe like $20, $5. So there's like 5 pieces. It's Tonka truck and trailers, jumbo vehicles, fire engine, lot of 5. They are older, but rough shape, not complete. And I think I took an offer a little less.
Those are trailers down below.
Yeah, $75.
I thought it was like a rowboat or something, the one on the right.
Well, I thought you were going to say like
or shoes.
A bath for a little Barbie doll.
Or Dutch shoes.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a green and a gold. Anyways, they don't look like much. You still got $75 out of it, and you can find them. I've had them every now and then. So
well, that works out to $20 a piece,
yeah.
And nobody at a sale is going to put $20 in that condition.
No shot, for sure. Yep. Next up, Batman issue 200 from 1968, Scarecrow appearance. It's a CGC 5.0. I brought this up because I still think it's undervalued. It's a good issue, and it's not easy to find either. The 200th issue, I think I took a $100 offer on it. It cost almost $50 to grade it, but I didn't pay a lot for it, and I still made some money. But if you do see it out there, I would scarf it up. Next up, Ocean Drive. I wish I lived there, but November 2000, Yasmin Bleeth on the cover. This one for the whole $96.28. If you find these out there, hopefully you're with a bodybuilder that can carry them because they are big. Remember, if you got, say you got 5 years of these things, we can't do that by ourselves, so we'd have to get like wheelbarrows and stuff. So
or have random neighborhood kid make like 4 trips.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get this back thing, and old football injury. You know how it goes.
So is El Bundy. Next up, Sports Illustrated. I would have started this out with LeBron James, but my employee chose to use Sports Illustrated, Volume 99, October 27,
Yeah, I'm
2003.
thinking I would have put LeBron James somewhere other than like the next county.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. First, a lot of stuff going on before we got to LeBron James, but luckily it still came up in searches. So I had this at $750. I listed this maybe a year ago on sale for $679. I looked at comps and they were right around $350. So I did take the $350 offer because I figured, why let it sit forever?
Oh, that's the first pro one. Okay,
right,
I was going to say he had one prior to that. Right?
Yeah, he had his high school one where he's got his face up close and he's in his gold high school uniform.
So what would that be worth on a 9.0?
Those are going for thousands right now.
Thousands, okay.
A 9.8 is probably $5,000 or more, I'm guessing.
Holy mackerel.
So if you find any LeBron covers with mailing labels or without, if they're high grade, get them graded.
Wow. What's it cost to grade a magazine?
It's still around a $50 range.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're talking about fees, shipping both ways, and all that jazz, yeah. All right. Next up, this is AHM Walther. There's a plastic model, but it's a full-size pistol, 1/1 scale model kit. It's probably got to be from the, I think, 60s.
It looks later than that, doesn't it?
It might be maybe 70s, but
70s, yeah.
I was nervous when I saw this because of the
symbol
background
and everything,
symbol. Yep. So I had my employee double check, and they were listing them on there. So I said, okay, just go on there. Don't say anything negative that we wouldn't want people to see. Just basically say it's a plastic
replica
pistol. Yeah,
yep,
but
model.
pretty cool one for $50. Looked like it's not new in box, but was never built.
Actually, I'm surprised that they let you do that because at least on the cap guns, you got to put the orange thing
right.
in. Yeah,
yep.
Huh, interesting.
True, yeah.
I mean, maybe because it's disassembled and it is a model. I don't know.
Yeah, I do have a. We just picked up a die-cast vintage car from that ruler.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm worried about that as well. But they said they're on their listing, so always do your due diligence and research and make sure you're allowed to list them on eBay. Don't want to get hit with that.
No, right, definitely.
All right, last up for me, IHC. It's a 080 Shifter Premier U.S. Army Locomotive and Tender, and this one for $177.
Wow.
Picked this up in a huge train
Now,
toy model deal.
What is IHC?
IHC is a brand 080. It should
Right. No, are they new or are they old? IHC. I've never heard of them.
No, they're probably like 80s and 90s. Yeah.
And obviously, is it a lower end brand?
It's an HO scale. It's a higher end HO scale.
Higher end. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's higher than Lionel.
For HO, it would be, yes.
It would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, now you have, and if you ever see them out there, box or unboxed, you better grab them.
They're not the majorettes of the train industry.
They are not. No.
Wow. Very good.
All right.
All righty. Did you know that Americans must eat dog food to survive?
Well.
You do now?
All right.
Thanks to the Midnight Tabloid. I underpriced this $14. That being said, it took 5 years to sell, 6 years to sell. A lot of the tabloids are good. This is more of the lurid kind of tabloid where they have these crazy stories on the cover type deal, as opposed to the National Enquirer type nowadays, back in the 80s and 90s, its heyday, when it had all the celebrities. I don't think this had any celebrity in it whatsoever. This was back before I used the CZUR Scanner. That's why it had the bad picture. I would have scanned it on a regular...
I thought you were doing a zoom in.
Exactly, and I forgot to
really
put the second picture up.
That's great.
The other thing that I liked about this is folded in half, because this is oversized. This is a little bit larger than a Life magazine, and then you've got to use the next size up envelope, which costs more money. Yeah. The fact it was folded in half, I can just ship it out in a regular envelope. If you do get oversized magazines and they are folded, note it and then ship them that way. Nobody can get upset because you said it was folded.
Or if they're not folded, you should fold it and ship it that way.
If it's, I have done that before.
If they're cheaper, if they're higher grade, and
if they're older magazines and not in the best of shape, I have actually folded them just because I said, look, shipping's gonna be a nightmare otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
On these things over here.
$3 shipping, what a bargain for the buyer.
Yeah, that was. Nowadays it'd be $0, so it'd be even bigger bargain.
Exactly.
Next up, Audio 1986 Annual Equipment Directory Hardcover. Amps, tuners, receivers, turntables. How do I do it? I'm crazy.
I feel like Papergoy turned into Casey Kasem.
Or Crazy Eddie.
Yeah, that's right.
This is just the magazine. But
is it bound or just one? Okay, but it's multiple years or
no? It's just it's simply that one issue.
One issue. Okay,
one
cool.
issue. You will find these out there though. I guess it was because the audiophiles would use this issue regularly during the next year. Like, I want to upgrade this. I want to upgrade that.
Yeah.
So they would take these and they would actually. This is the only issue, but each year they have these bound.
Cool.
Other people are asking $20 or so on it bound, and I said that's too cheap. I asked $44 and I got a $30 offer on it, so I took $30 on it. Trust your prices, do a good listing. Nobody else listed what was in there. Not that it matters. It's who's searching on amps.
Yeah.
But I kind of did a little better presentation than other people did. I put the extra pictures in and all that kind of thing, and I believe I also put, the loudspeakers and all that stuff over there too. Just all that because I need loudspeakers.
Yeah.
Next up, Don McNeil, Good Morning Breakfast Clubber brochure from the Breakfast Club. This actually was sold to somebody who has had the name radio in their buyer ID. So there's somebody out there still collecting old radio. The Breakfast Club was a 1940s and 50s radio program. Took forever to sell. These do not sell very often. Do not run out and buy these, and they are fairly regularly found out there. I believe I took $8 on it plus shipping. That being said,
you probably had a lot of people upset with once they clicked on it. They thought they were going to look at something from Rocky 3 or the Breakfast Club movie, and they were both wrong.
And finally, that one guy said, "Yes." Yes.
Yeah.
And got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Or early John Candy appearance.
That's true. Yeah. Very true.
Next up, Richard Avedon, hardcover DJ. Portraits book, 1976, first edition of photography. I think I took $50 on this over here. Richard Avedon is one of those names that you need to know. He's up there with Annie Leibovitz and a few other ones up over there that are just famous photographers. If you do see magazines that have his photography in them, he's like Ansel Adams, definitely do mention his name. It is a keyword. People do buy it. The fact I got $50 out of this book over here with some great photos.
Well, handsome people.
Very handsome people.
Well, he makes him look even better.
Yeah, there you go. Imagine what this person looked like before he took that picture. Exactly.
Darth Hideous.
So definitely do purchase his stuff. He is a keyword to be on the lookout for when you're out there. Next up, Stories from Walt Disney's Fantasia, hardcover 1940 book, Mickey Mouse Random House. There are times when I actually think about something Mr. Magazine said. Keep working for me. If you quit, you'll never work in this town again. But the other thing that he said was he mentioned about magazines, and he said, if we haven't seen it before, it's probably tough to find. That being said, this obviously is not a magazine, it's a book. However, I've seen a lot of Disney books throughout the years. Have you ever seen this, Mr. Magazine?
Never. Is it big? Because Random House makes me think of a little,
I would say 9 by 12.
Books? Okay,
Did
so
I
bigger
give
than
a
a little
measurement
golden, bigger than a little golden.
8.5 by 11.5. Yep.
All right.
So I put a bunch of pictures up on it. It's got some great pictures in there, but I'd never seen it before, and it was at a sale for $5, and I said, I'm just going to buy it, and I ended up getting $50 out of it.
Cool.
So I was quite happy about that over there. And that's one of those, again, when you've been in a business long enough, dealing in some stuff long enough, and then you see something that you haven't seen before, buy it. Because, I didn't even look it up when I was at the sale. I just said, I haven't seen this before. It's got to be halfway decent.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was. And it also sold very quickly. I did buy this in 2023 and listed in 2023. It took about 2 weeks to sell. So you can't argue with that. Second last, the Master of Puppets is pulling the strings.
Every week Metallica.
Hopefully that doesn't give us another copyright violation. Metallica Damage Inc. Tour Master of Puppets, 1986 souvenir program, James Hetfield. $88.
It's almost 40 years old, that thing. Look at that.
That's actually very true. I'd never really put that together, but yeah, you're right.
It should be worth, if you think about it, it should be worth $50 to $100.
Yeah, it's got some wear on it, but again, most of them probably do.
Oh, yeah.
On that over there.
I don't think Metallica collectors were buying them in '86 and getting bags and backer boards and let's store this away, never look at it.
Probably not. No, you're probably right. And I did show this on one of our shorts. If you haven't checked out our shorts, that sounds really bad. You definitely do want to do so. We have that over on YouTube. It's one of the playlists that I put together. It takes 15 to 30 seconds each to look at them. Go ahead, check out our shorts. And finally, the last thing, I'm just ramping up for when we go on OnlyFans.
I see that, yeah.
And the last thing over here, everybody loves an auditor. I know I do. Central Greyhound Line's 1943 Ticket and Auditor's Advice, Rochester to Oneonta, New York. $16.18. I believe I took a $10 offer on that. Took 5 years to sell. But if you look at it that way, that took 5 years to sell. That thing from the Breakfast Club took 15 years to sell.
Yeah.
So you're better off buying auditor's tickets when you're out there. But I wanted to bring this up as well. It's just a tiny piece of paper folded in half. There's absolutely nothing to this. You could find this in a book. You could find this anywhere out there. Nobody's going to pay any attention to it. If you're at a sale and you're making a pile of stuff and you see something other like this, it's a $10 bill. Literally it's sold for $10. It's a $10 bill that you can throw into the pile of paper stuff you're buying, and you will not be charged any extra for it. Pretty sure the guy's not going to, an auditor's advice, this is $3.
Yeah.
He's going to go, and he's just going to throw it on in.
So what kind of advice does it give you?
It gives me the advice to buy this darn thing, because you make $10.
There you go, of course.
The other advice, I think, which I think you were leading me into, is the best advice I can give any of you, hit that like button. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.